So we've had two recent projects that have become people's top sellers. And that's one of our tall planter designs, as well as a bench design that we did last year. So what do you do whenever you have a couple of different products that's really standing apart from the rest? You make a totally new item by combining the two. And that's exactly what we're going to do in today's video. I'm going to be teaching you how to make this modern bench planter just using common building material. And the best part of this project, you can knock this out in a weekend. So are you ready to turn some big box store lumber into this? Well, let's dive into it. All right, so let's start off by getting some parts cut. As usual for the planters, I'm just going to be using some fence pickets. Whenever we get to the bench part, we'll switch over to some 2x material. So just keep in mind whenever I'm giving you the quantities for each one of these parts, that it's for one of these planters. So if you want to make 1 or 3 or how many ever, just do the math. So to start off with, let's get these pickets ripped down. And as always, I'll be teaching you step by step on how to build this project. But if you're a plans in the hand type of person, I've got you covered. I built my entire plan library around something that I call Lego plans. That means exploded views, x-ray views, and clear diagrams for every single step. With over 11,000 5-star reviews, these plans have helped thousands of people of every skill level build successfully. So if you're interested in the easiest plans on the internet to build from, head over to my website. I'll make sure to throw a link in the description. So as usual, I'm going to start off by cleaning up an outer edge of a picket. Use that as my fence side for my cuts. Then I'm going to rip my material down to 2.5 inches wide. Yes, there's going to be some parts that's narrower than 2.5 inches. And then for the narrow parts, I'll just rip that material down the size. All right, so now that we have some of our 2.5 inch strips ripped down, let's go ahead and start cutting some of our parts from this. Now, a really cool thing about this build is that we're building these entire planters out of 2.5 inch material or less. And that's one of the things that makes this build super easy. Let's go and get these cut. So I'm going to start off cutting all of my leg boards. So I'll need 8 of these cut down to 28.5 inches long. The width of the legs of the front and back panels versus the side panels will be a little different. So the legs for our front and back panels, they'll just be 2.5 inches, just like we've cut. But the width of our legs for the side panels only need to be 2 inches wide. So I'll go ahead and trim down 4 of these boards. All right, so now that we have our legs cut, let's go ahead and cut our rails for these panels, get them put together. So since these planters are kind of narrow on the front and longer on the sides, we'll have short rails for the front and back and long rails for the sides. For your short rails, you'll be needing 4 boards that are 6.25 inches long. And for the long rails, 4 boards that are 18.5 inches long. And again, these parts are 2.5 inches wide. Let's go ahead and put 2 pocket holes in each end of each rail. Alright, so now that we have all of our parts cut, let's go ahead and put these panels together. Now, anytime that you're connecting boards with pocket hole screws, it always helps to clamp these parts down whenever you're putting them together. Now, I know that you've seen me use this clamp before, and let me explain why. I'm not a huge fan of the small clamp that comes with a pocket hole jig, but this thing's pretty awesome. Now, this video is not sponsored by Craig, and this clamp is actually not even supposed to be used in this way. It's made for a bench dog system. So to make this work, I just drilled a hole through my workbench so I can easily install this clamp and remove it when I'm done. Not only is this thing handy for putting in pocket hole screws, but it's worked out awesome in the corner of my workbench for using the jigsaw. So now with my clamp installed, I'm going to start off by assembling my front and back frames. So for this, we'll need 2 of our 6.25 inch rails and 2 of our 2.5 inch legs. Now, you don't have to use wood glue with pocket hole screws, but since this is going to be outside and it definitely doesn't hurt, why not? So once you have your front and back frames assembled, let's go ahead and move to the side frames. So now with our panel frames assembled, you could either leave these natural or paint or stain. For this project, I want my frames to be black and some 1-inch decorative strips. And since I'll be setting up to paint my frames, I'll go ahead and cut some 1-inch strips and get those painted as well. And I'll hold off on cutting my strips to length until it's time to install. Alright, so now that you have your frames painted, stained, or left natural, let's go ahead and cut our panel boards and get those installed. If you're using fence pickets, then you're bound to have some that are too thin. If so, this is a perfect place to use those. For the front and back or the short panel boards, we'll be needing 22 that are 9.25 inches long. And for the sides, or the longer boards, we'll be needing 22 that are 21.5 inches long. And again, we're still working with 2.5-inch material. Okay, so now we're ready to install our panel boards. I'm going to be using this super complicated jig that I have laying around. Yeah, it's just a couple of 2x4s. Where this thing comes in handy is whenever I need an edge to work off of. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. We'll start off with our front and back panel, and I want my first board to be flush with the bottom and 1 inch away from the outside edge. Now you can do this with a tape measure, or just rip down a 1-inch strip and use that as a guide. And then to install these, I'll be using wood glue and 7/8 inch crown staples. And once you have your first one installed, you'll just butt 10 more boards up in a row. Simple as that. And really, you do not have to use this, but if you're making multiples, it makes it go a lot quicker. Again, this is just going to give us an outside edge to work off of that you can't get from a standard square. Then for the larger side panels, the only change that we're going to make is our side spacing. Instead of 1 inch from the outside edge, we're going to change this to 1/2 inch. And again, I'm just using a piece of scrap wood for that. And you may be wondering why I'm starting these out flush with the very bottom. I mean, after all, we're just covering up a piece of trim that's the exact same size. Well, since this is going to have a bench attached to it, we need to transfer that weight to the ground. If we left any space from the bottom, well, it wouldn't do that. Okay, so now that we have all of our panels assembled, let's go ahead and put our little decorative strips in. Remember those 1-inch boards that we cut earlier? Let's go ahead and cut those to size and get them installed. Call these panel strip boards, and we'll be needing 12 of these at 23.5 inches long. We'll be installing 4 of these on each one of the side panels and 2 on our front and back panels. Now with our strips cut, let's mark out the spacing for our wide boards. I'm going to start my measurement from the inside of the panel and measure over 2 13/16, 6 5/8, 10 7/16, and 14 1/4. I'll do this again for the bottom. Once I have all my spacing marks lined out, I'm just going to line up the edge of my strips with each one of my marks. This will make sure that I have perfect spacing. Once you have your strips lined up, attach them to your panels using brad nails or crown staples. We'll just repeat this for our second side panel, and then we're ready for our front and back. And then for our front and back panel, we're going to measure over 1 inch 7/16 and 3 7/8. Okay, so now that our panels are ready to go, let's go ahead and cut some parts that we'll be needing for our bench supports. I'll be cutting the parts that we need to support our bench from a 2x4. Basically, I'm just making my own 2x2s or 1.5 by 1.5. We'll be using this to make supports that will actually attach to the planter as well as the bench. Alright, so now that we have our 1.5 by 1.5 inch boards cut, let's go ahead and trim these down to size. So we'll be needing 4 18-inch support boards. Then we'll also be making 3 of these bench supports. And each of the bench supports will be made up of 2 boards. We'll have a seat support, which the seat board's attached to, and a back support, which the back board's attached to. For the seat support, we'll need 3 boards that are 22.5 inches long, with a 5-degree angle on each end. And then for our back support, we'll need 3 boards that are 13 7/8 with a 22.5-degree angle on the top and a 17-degree angle on the bottom. No worries, I'll show you exactly how all of this goes together. Now let's go ahead and assemble our supports. I'm going to start off by laying my parts out so I can see where everything goes. So for my seat support, I want the tip of my 5-degree angle on my left side to be facing up. And then for the back support, I want the 17-degree angle to be touching my seat support. So now we can see where the bottom of our seat support is. That's where we'll be counterboring our screws. So I'm just going to flip my seat support over so that the bottom is facing up. Then I'll measure over 16 9/16 from the left side of my board. And since I'm wanting to install 2 screws on each bracket, I'll measure in 3/8 of an inch from each side. Now that we have our first one marked out, we'll just use that as a template for our remaining 2. This is going to save us a little measuring. Now we'll simply pre-drill and counterbore at each one of our marks. And again, we'll be doing this for all 3 seat supports. Now let's attach our back supports. With our pre-drilled holes on the bottom, I'm going to measure over 5 inches from the top of my board and make a mark. This will be where we line up our back of our back support. And then we'll install 2 2¼ inch screws. Then we'll assemble our remaining 2 and we're ready to move on. So now with those assembled, you can get those painted, stained, or whatever that you would like. So now with our 3 brackets assembled, let's go and get these ready to install. So since each one of these will be connecting to a planter on the outside edge, I want to pre-drill through the inside. Keep me from putting these on the wrong side. I'm just going to lay these down so that the sides that we'll be needing the counterbore will be facing up. Now we'll just mark our screw placement. We'll put one 3 inches from the top of our backboards, then 1 1/4 inches from the front and back of my seat supports. And since I want these centered in my board, I'll measure over 3/4 of an inch from the edge. Now with all of those marked, let's go ahead and pre-drill and counterbore. And now with the seat supports ready to install, now would be a perfect time to paint or stain these if you'd like. Alright, so now that I have all these parts painted up, now is the time that you'll need your side panels for both of your planters. So since I have my 4 side panels done, let's go ahead and get some of these parts attached before we actually assemble the planters. So the first thing that you'll do is to pick one side panel from each set. We'll use this as the side panel that will face in toward our bench. So from the back of this panel, we're going to install 2 support legs, then we'll pre-drill and countersink 2 screws in the center. So you may be asking, well, what's the purpose of these? Well, we'll be attaching our bracket to the opposite side. These will help to support the bench, again, by transferring the weight to the ground. And we'll install these supports so that they're flush with the bottom of our panel board and 1/2 inch away from the edge of the panel board. Then I'll just pre-drill and counterbore 2 inches away from each end. And I'll be using 1 3/4 inch screws to lock everything down. Okay, so now that we have our left and right sides done, let's go ahead and flip these over, install our brackets. So using the 2 brackets that we pre-drilled, we're just going to line these up so the angle of our top matches, as well as our 2 5-degree end angles. Then we'll simply attach this to the panel using 2 1/4 inch screws. No measuring necessary. The 2 bottom screws will sink perfectly into the supports that we added to the back. And now with our seat supports attached to our panels, let's go ahead and finish these planters up. Now I'm going to take my 4 front and back panels and I'm going to pre-drill and countersink for my screws. Measuring down from the top, I'm going to mark out 1 inch, 6 inch, 13 1/2, 21, and 27 1/2. I'll make these marks on each one of my edges. Then I'll measure in 1/4 inch from the side and make my pre-drill. Once I have that, I'll follow up with a countersink. This is going to keep the wood from splitting on the edge. And then to assemble these, we'll attach the front and back panels to the side panels using 1 inch exterior screws. Just make sure to keep the panel with the bench support on the side that it needs to be. Now that this one side's done, let's go and put our other side together and then install our bench. So one more thing that we need to do before we install this trim, and that's going to be to install some floorboards, something to set the plants on. Using some leftover 1 inch strips, I'm going to install a 9 inch floor bracket onto the inside of the front and back panels. And I want these to be 9 1/2 inches from the top of my planter. And if you're following the plan, these will be installed before we assemble our planters. Now with our brackets installed, we can install 2 2.5 by 21 1/2 floorboards. Now with our floor installed, let's go ahead and cut and install our trim. For the trim, I'm going to be using the same 2.5 inch material. Each one of our trim pieces will have a 45-degree angle cut on one end. Our front and back trim will be 13 1/4 inch from tip to tip, and our side trim will be 25 1/2 inch from tip to tip. And with these lengths, that should give us 1 inch of overhang around the entire planter. To make things easier, I'll measure out perfect screw placement on one of my short trim boards and one of my long boards. For my short board, I want my spacing at 2 inch, 6 5/8, and 11 1/2 from the tip of the board and 1 1/4 inch from my outside edge. And then for the long side, I want my spacing at 2 inch, 7 3/8, 18 1/8, and 23 3/8. And again, 1 1/4 inch from the outside edge. Once I have these marked out, I'll go ahead and pre-drill all of my holes and start using these as templates for the rest. And now with everything pre-drilled, I'll go ahead and countersink all of my material. And then we just install all of our trim boards. Now I'm going to install this trim using 1 inch screws. Alright, so these planters are looking awesome. Now let's just finish this project up with our bench slats. So to make our bench slats, we'll be using some 2x material. In total, we'll be needing 14 slats that are 46 inches long. And since I want to use 1 by 1.5 material, and my material is already 1.5 inches thick, I'll just be cutting these into 1-inch strips. Since I'm using 8-foot material, I'll need 7 strips. Then I'll cut my strips down to 46-inch lengths, and then we're ready to move on. The screw placement for these will be 3/4 of an inch from each end, and then 23 inches from the end to center. And to make sure that these are centered up in the board, I'll measure 3/4 of an inch from my edges. Now we'll pre-drill and counterbore our seat slats. So after I get my first one pre-drilled, I'll just use that as a template. Alright, so this is where we're at. I have all of my parts pre-drilled, counterbored, and stained. Now it's time for the final step, and that's attaching these seat boards. So I'm going to start off by installing a slat on the front. I'll be attaching this one to the ends of our braces. And when you install your top backboard, you may have to remove your 2 inside trim pieces. No big deal. And then I'll install a slat at the very top of the back. This is just going to line everything up for us. And I'll be using 2-inch screws to attach all of our seat and backboards. Now with those 2 boards installed, let's go ahead and attach our center brace that we set to the side earlier. Now with our front and top slats installed, we'll install the rest of these slats using 1-inch spacing. I'm just going to use some end cuts from our seat boards as spacers. So I started with the front of my seat and just worked my way back. Then I'll start at the top of the backrest and work my way down. Alright, so check this thing out. This thing turned out awesome. And just like that, we used common building material to take 2 different popular projects to create a new superseller product. So yeah, this project had several different steps to it because essentially you're making a couple of planter boxes and also a bench. But overall, this project is relatively simple and can easily be done in a weekend. So what do you think? Think you need to make one? Well, you know what the next step is. Get up, get out, and get your build on. Till next time, we'll see you. Imagine taking a pile of wood and turning it into something amazing. Now, imagine doing that without years of frustration. You do not need a fancy workshop, expensive tools, or years of experience. With Woodworking Kickstart, you'll build confidence and real skills in no time. So you can spend years making mistakes and learning the hard way like I did, or you can start building with confidence today. So join me in Woodworking Kickstart and let's get your journey started.